It's your boy JS Tha Supplier. It's the Aries Lounge podcast, man. We back again for another great episode. Man, I done interviewed stars. I done interviewed 100 Grand, man. I done interviewed, and I hope y'all enjoying that pork chop interview. That joint was legendary. Hashtag conspiracy theory Baltimore. That's the only thing I'm going to tell y'all. If y'all haven't seen it yet, y'all definitely going to want to check it out. This week, I've got another person I've never interviewed before. I consider him to be, what are we, casual acquaintances?
Yeah.
Like casual acquaintance. Yeah. I haven't hung out with him enough to call him a friend,
yeah.
But he a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He's done some phenomenal work in the literary world, done phenomenal work on stage. Can we say theatrical? Can it be considered theatrical?
Cool. You know, everybody got their own,
definitions.
They want to call it. I just let people do
it's
what they want.
not just regular. You ain't just out there speaking. You be real theatrical with yours.
Yeah.
So we have a thespian in the building. You know what I'm saying? And he's also just an all around cool Negro. Yeah. AKA a black dude. Yeah. Today, I've got Kondwani Fidel in the building. What's up, G?
What's up, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm doing good, bro. Yeah. Thank you, number one, for allowing me the time, because you got a busy life.
Thanks for having me, man.
Man, yo, you know what? Ray told me a long time, you gotta sit down with Con, and I was just like, I didn't know what would make sense, because at the time, Aries Lounge was just focused around hip hop. I'm not saying that you're not hip hop, because you 100%, but I didn't understand how I could make it work. But with me taking a new direction and stuff that I'm doing now, I felt like you fit perfectly within the realm of the direction as far as talking about the culture of Baltimore, the evolution of the entertainment industry, and then curating the great entertainers of our time in our city. And you definitely have risen above the large mass of poets. You're getting to that level of with the writers, you know what I'm saying? So like it just became necessary that I'm like, yo, I gotta sit down with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Plus you're the heartthrob out here in these streets. So you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my YouTube numbers up. Ladies, hit him up on IG. Kondwani. You got that exotic name, yo. Kondwani Fidel.
It's crazy.
Fidel Kondwani. So you like Spanish niggas?
Nah,
you got some Castro in you or something?
Nah, it's an African name. My grandmother said that she was reading through a book with African names. I might be butchering this just a tiny bit, but I know it was a book that had some names in there, and she liked the meaning. She named my father Kondwani. She named my mother. I said my mother. She named my father Kondwani. She named my aunt Sadiq and my uncle Nubi. So and I'm a junior, and I'm not really sure where the Fidel came from. I'm guessing she just probably liked the word and the meaning, fidelity, loyalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to her for coming up with the gangster name.
Yeah.
She set you up for greatness early.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. And my name ain't Faithful Warrior, too. So a lot of people, be drawing those comparisons, Yep.
Yeah. Gemini's in the building, boy.
Yeah,
Here
Gemini,
we go. Another level of that level. All right. Yeah. So now off camera, we started talking about smoking on screen. Like I've never smoked on camera before.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know I smoke.
Yeah.
Mainly because I need to smoke when I'm comfortable.
Right.
And I don't know how you are, but like when I'm around a lot of people, I'm not really comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times I just won't. Even people be lighting up, but
I
don't know. Today just seemed to be one of those days. I was like,
and it's crazy because like I don't smoke weed. Like I might rock with the clothes or the Capones or something here and there, and I don't ever smoke on camera. And my first time smoking on camera was when I was filming for the Hummingbirds in the Trenches short docu-film that's going to be shown tomorrow at UB.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. And and they was following me around like my everyday life, you get what I'm saying? And it was a part of what I where I'm at and what I was doing, and I didn't want to cut any of that out because I was like, no, I just wanted it to be authentic as possible.
Right.
And it's not a thing that I do smoke on camera, but I feel the same energy that you feel because I'm like, because anytime I probably would have been like, nah, I'm good, wait till after or before, but
it's
it is what it is.
For those who are not familiar, like I'm shooting in my home right now. Normally I'm in the studio, but I'm making some transitions, and like when I'm home, this is literally how I live. Like I got cognac. I smoke these cigars, and I'm just relaxing. So all right, so I just want people to understand, and even the kids at home, like this is not a everyday thing, but don't smoke.
It's a mini cigar.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we on some grown man today. So, number one reason why I brought you in, you have a very unique perspective from other people in the city pertaining to how you view artistry, how you approach artistry, even your internal, I'm not going to say struggle, but you're always constantly questioning, or, you know, even when, like in our conversations, you're like, all right, how you're going to evolve, who you want to evolve in, you know, you're always constantly, it seems like you're always critiquing your own work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we all know that artists are always their own worst critics, but I just love the way it's not just saying, oh, this is whack. It's just you're like, you always seem to have this wondering of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into words, like how you encapsulate, even in casual conversation, your art form. So from your perspective, when is the first time you realized that you are an artist? And then how did you deal with that, you know, unpacking that?
I feel like I was always an artist if you're going by the definition, but I never seen myself as an artist until people started calling me an artist, because I was just writing and sharing my stuff. Like, I didn't take any poetry classes when I first started out. I didn't take any public speaking classes when I first started out. You know, I was just writing whatever it is that came to my mind. You get what I'm saying? And then people would hear my stuff, and then they would say, oh, this is theater, or this is spoken word, or this is poetry, or this is whatever. You get what I'm saying? This is, some people call it rap. You get what I'm saying? And who am I to tell, you know, the viewer, the reader, you know, the audience, you know, what they see? You get what I'm saying? So when people started calling me an artist, that's when I was like, okay, you're an artist, even though you don't wear like the pink hair, and you don't got like 80 nose rings, and like, you get what I'm saying, you don't got stuff sticking out through the back of your ear, you know, but you're an artist. So
what does that mean to you? Like when you really internalized it, what did it mean to you?
Nothing, for real, honestly. Really? It's just like, it's just like, you know, I don't really care what people call me. You get what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I'm just utilizing the gift that God gave me. That's it. And you can call that gift whatever it is that you would like. You get what I'm saying? Like, even some people refer to me as an activist, but I'm not putting that on my bio. You get what I'm saying? You think I'm an activist? That's cool. I just do the work that, you know, I feel as though I need to be doing. And you just give it whatever title you want. You feel me? So I'm not caught up in, but like, oh, I'm an artist. And you got so many people out here, they want to be called an artist. They want to look like an artist, dress like an artist, but really don't be putting time into their art. You get what I'm saying? I just never really been into that. Just, you know. So
what do you put in your bio title?
It's crazy because the more that I transition is the less that I want to put. Like, as far, because at first, like, if you read like my signature on my email, my bio to be writer, spoken word poet, this, that, did this, did that. And it's like, the more I transition, you realize that, like, not that those things don't matter, but I don't know, you just start evolving on a different level when those things just don't matter. Not that you know, you're not grateful and you don't appreciate it, but, you know, the work just starts to matter more and more when you evolving, and nothing else does. You get what I'm saying? Okay.
So what came first? The poetry, or storytelling, or the stand-up performance? I guess, well, you got to be a writer to be a stand-up performer. So, so was it writing the poetry, or was it like storytelling, or, you know, what was the first thing for you?
The first thing initially was reading. So I started reading when I went to college in 2011. Okay. And my entire life, I thought that I hated reading. And I had this English professor named Arnold Westbrook, and he channeled a lot of his lessons through African American studies. So we learning about Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou. We reading rap lyrics. We watched Chris Rock, Bad Hair, Good Hair documentary, whatever the title of that is. Right. And I found myself reading every day. Like, I would even skip class to read. And I was like, whoa, bro, you never hated reading. You just hated what your teachers in the past was forcing you to read. Right. So I fell in love with reading. And then I would read these poems. And, you know, not to shit on Langston Hughes or anybody, because I love him. But I forgot what piece that I was reading at that moment. And I was like, yo, if the world love this, I can write some shit that the world will love. You get what I'm saying? I started writing. And I would share that work with my cousin Avon, who was going to Virginia Union at the time. my cousin Boo Boo, who was back home, and one of my new friends that I met on campus named Jelante. And I would share with them, and they was like, yo, Connie, this stuff is great. It's amazing. We love it. And, you know, I felt good about myself. And then I realized, like, yo, what if they just lied to me to, like, save my feelings because they my friends? You get what I'm saying? Friends do stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, how many people do you know, that's just not really good at what they do, and you like, yo, why ain't nobody around them telling them? Like a girl that run a hair page, but she really can't do hair. Or a nigga keep posting, you get what I'm saying, pictures of the haircuts that you'll do, you get what I'm saying, on Instagram, like before and after, but the before and after look the same. You get what I'm saying? But nobody's saying nothing. So
the shape of it's crooked in the mug.
So I'm thinking that it's that type of way. So then I started writing poems, and I would read them to Boo Boo, Avon, and Jelante, and I would lie and be like, yo, this poem is from James Winkleberry the 8th from fucking Switzerland. I don't know. I just think of the cuckooest, craziest shit ever. And they was like, oh, shit, James, shit. Oh, Joe sent me more of your shit. And I was like, oh, I might be all right. You get what I'm saying? Fast forward to 2013, I was a part of this mentoring organization at Virginia State. And we was having this event. And it was this dance group who was supposed to perform an intermission, but they backed out at the last minute. So we in the board meeting, like, yo, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? And I raised my hand and I said, I'll do it. But remind you, nobody knows that I do poetry. So they like, nigga, what you gonna do?
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna do a poem. And they was like, fuck it, we ain't got nothing to lose, right? So February 10th, 2013 rolled around, and I really felt like Eminem on 8 Mile. Like, I really felt like I was gonna throw up. Remind, this is my first time getting in front of a group of people speaking, performing, just anything. You get what I'm saying? And,
right.
You know, something in me, I was going to tell the DJ, like, to just play some music. I'm not even going to go up, like, fuck it, you know. But something in me was just like, yo, just do it. You ain't got nothing to lose. And then I was really nervous because a few years before I got there, they was talking about how Chris Brown performed, and they booed Chris Brown. So I'm like, shit, if they boo Chris Brown, then I might get slapped with a motherfucking tomato or something. Like, if they don't like my shit, like how you boo Chris Brown?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
that's disrespectful.
Right. And, you know, black people just unapologetic. They don't care.
Facts.
So I was like, fuck it. The worst, you know, that'll happen is that you get hit with a tomato, and it's like, that's not going to kill you. So I was like, all right, cool. So I got up there and I performed this poem called True Love. And I got standing ovation in front of 200 plus people. And
mostly women, probably.
It was women and men. And I got a standing ovation, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Right? And I was like, yo, you're not the smartest person in the world by far. But if this is your first time doing this and you can get a standing ovation, then you can only get better. So that next day I went to Gandy Hall on Virginia State campus, and I changed my major from sport management to English, because I just was like, what can I study that'll make me a better writer, a better poet? So I took up English, and that was it. And I started performing for fraternities and sororities on campus. I was doing stuff for breast cancer awareness, suicide awareness, Veterans Day, all kinds of anything. Whatever somebody said, yo, Connie, can you write a poem about this? I was really like a psycho. Like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I would do research, and I would, you know, put my own artist spin on there, and I would just perform at these different events throughout campus. And I became known on campus as a poet.
That's deep. That's deep. So, besides, outside of the stuff that you would do that was requested for a performance, what ended up being the pillar of your writing? What ended up being the base of your writing? Like the majority of the subject matter? Storytelling. Storytelling around what?
Storytelling around my life, the things that I went through, or the things that I've seen, and also you know, fiction. Like realistic fictional. Like one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite poems still to this day, and this was like one of the first pieces that I heard and read when I first started, still to this day, is Meet the Parents by Jay-Z. You know how he told that story about what's the woman name in the song is Isis. Okay. Right? And like how she was dating this county guy, right? He like dressed well, you know, was a good guy, had a job, you know, but then it was this other dude, you get what I'm saying, that like Willie Bikes, and he was in love with the, you know,
street life.
Like the street life, right? And you know, she had an option, you know, she could go with the good guy or the bad guy, you know. And she went with the bad guy, right? And it talks about how their life unfolded, and talk about how the father only saw their child one time or like twice as an infant, so they grew up, you know, not knowing each other. And at the end of the song, it's this guy, this young dude, you know, has this altercation with this older guy, and you know, it's a line of something that says, you know, the child saw something in this man's face that he knew he seen before. You get what I'm saying? He was taking it as a sign from the Almighty Lord. And they both pulled out their guns at the same time, but the son hesitated because he's young. You get what I'm saying? He new to this. The father seasoned. You get what I'm saying? I ain't letting nobody get one up on me. So he whipped the joint out faster than the son. Boom. And the end line is, niggas be a father, you killing your son. So it's you know, it's fiction about this guy physically killing his son, but something like that can, you know, really happen. And it's also just like, you know, figuratively, like, guys, you need to be in your children's lives or you will fail them. You get what I'm saying? You will kill them. And I just thought that was like one of the most brilliant pieces of art that I ever heard, that I ever read in my life. So even my True Love poem, the first poem that I ever performed in front of people, it kind of fit that mold. And you could tell that, like, if you listen to Meet the Parents, and then if I can dig up my True Love poem and read it, you'll see where I got inspiration from Jay-Z. And it was about this guy who was in love with this girl, and this girl was like addicted to drugs, and like he was like a, you know, we'd call him a sucker. You get what I'm saying? He was a square. So the girl getting over on him, she get all high up, call your other niggas names that she talking to. You get what I'm saying? And he was so distraught that he was like, you know, she's always so happy, I'm always so miserable, she living her life. So he tried to do drugs, right? The same drug. He like, yo, I want the high that she has. And he went on a bad trip, and long story short, he ended up murdering her. Right? Because he was just like, all of the bad things that she's ever done to him like clouded his mind. And you know, that was the result of that. And crazy, that was like my first poem that I ever performed, was like some deep, gruesome shit. And you can tell that, you know, where I was getting my inspiration from then. So that's what I was writing about a lot, either my personal stories or stories that could be real, but like throwing some type of like, you know, imaginary spin on it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So how much does the work that you create emulate your real life?
As of now, all of it. If it's not something that if I didn't physically go through it, I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Or I felt it because my little brother felt it. You get what I'm saying? And he was dealing with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, people don't know that when you grow up in Baltimore, you grow up anywhere, you get what I'm saying? And you become physically, spiritually, mentally attached to a place, to people. Correct. So, you get what I'm saying? I was in Chicago last year, and I was reading about the murders in Baltimore, and I'm just depressed. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in another state. You get what I'm saying? I'm on a different coast. You get what I'm saying? Different time zone. I'm like, okay, you should be good. But no. You feel me? So even though it's not physically happening to me, it's happening to the people around me, the people that I care about. So
you got what you got.
To answer your question, yeah.
Okay. I want to go to our break real quick. We're going to be right back. We're going to have a word from our sponsors. Do we have sponsors this week? I don't even know if we got sponsors. Shit. Y'all keep it locked. Aries Lounge Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Google Play, iTunes. You know, if you into iHeartMedia, you can subscribe there. Tune in. You can subscribe there. VVCRadio.com. You can always log on to there. And don't forget to follow our Instagram at Aries Lounge or at JS1 Supplier at VVC Radio. That's a whole lot of adding. And then don't forget to follow Kondwani Fidel at Kondwani Fidel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, spell out your name so they can.
KONDWANIFIDEL. Kondwani Fidel.
Boom. We'll be right back. Aries Lounge. Let's go.
Aries Lounge Podcast. Released every Tuesday. Subscribe via iTunes, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. You can also check out the videos on our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/JS1 Tha Supplier. Or just search VVC Life. Listen, share, and comment.
It's your boy JS1 Supplier, Aries Lounge Podcast. We back in the building. This week, like I said, I got Kondwani Fidel in the building. You know what I'm saying? As the thespian, the writer, the you know what I'm saying, the people's champ is in the building, aka the heartthrob of East Baltimore on deck. You know what I'm saying? We out here trying to get this. I'm trying to get my numbers up, so you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta you gotta bring the next level in, yo. You know what I'm saying? So we've just got finished talking about all of his journey into becoming a writer. We've gotten into even your first stage performances, which very interesting. Like, you don't have the normal, I went to an open mic and, I decided to jump up on that stage and spit something. Like, so I like that. I like the fact that you at least openly admit to the fact that, I was going to not do it, but I did it anyway. Like,
I'm scared, man.
I still get scared. When I used to be a performer, I used to be scared until I opened up my mouth and spit the first line of my song. Once I got that out, I was good. Yeah. So, anyway, I want to go backwards. Like, I want to go all the way back to the beginning. So, you grew up in Baltimore. You were born and raised in Baltimore?
Born and raised, same house for like my whole life.
My nigga. East side or west side?
East side. You already know. East side. Down the hill.
Shout out to all my dirty East Side niggas.
Yo, crazy.
Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to my fly West Side dudes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I love y'all.
You already know that's a lie. You already know.
What? All of my East Side dudes is grimy.
We ain't got to say nothing. You get what I'm saying? We ain't got to say nothing for real. We let y'all do the talking.
Yeah, shout out to Moose and
feel me?
You know what I'm saying? He out the mud. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? The whole family. So, shout out to GGL Slick too. By the way, just out of there. Yo, free Slick. And free ball while we at it. So shout out to 100 Grand Man. Like, yo, let's represent our home. So, all right. So you born in a house on the east side.
Yeah.
In the house, what was the predominant music that was being played? I asked everybody this question.
So it's crazy because I was just having this conversation yesterday. So you know how people, my generation, they might know of the oldie but goodies because their parents played it, like while they was cleaning up the home, or their grandparents. I didn't have that reality, so it's still like a lot of songs to this day that people play, and I never heard it before, don't know the words, but like the whole cookout turning up. you never heard this before? Oh my God. I'm just like, nah. But that's because my grandmother wasn't really into music like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody in my house was really into music, and the music that I did grow up on was like Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, 3 6 Mafia, Boosie. You get what I'm saying? Like, my first CD that I bought with my own money, like as a child, my grandma gave me $5, and I ran around to the market on Milton Avenue and Monument Street. It's Save-A-Lot now, but it used to be another market. I forgot the name. And it was this guy around there selling CDs, and my first CD that I bought was a Ja Rule CD. You know
Which one?
I forgot. It was I think he had red on the cover or something.
Oh, it was 316.
Yep.
And he had the bandana on or whatever.
Yeah, 316. That was like my first CD that I bought with my own money. You get what I'm saying? So that show kind of like
this nigga had a little Mo record on blast. You get
what I'm saying? Like, so I grew up, under hip hop. You get what I'm saying? I remember my father came home one day with the 500 Degrees Lil Wayne CD. Like, yeah, listen to this shit. And we was playing that shit on the stereo. And you get what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit, and that's when I, around that time was when I first, had a love for hip hop and rap, and that's my type of wave. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just started listening to R&B for real.
So you was more of a Ja fan than a 50 fan?
No, it's crazy because I really wasn't a fan. Like, I like the music. You get what I'm saying? But then I became a fan of 50. I remember when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. This was probably like 2000. I remember my grandma had this china cabinet, and my Uncle Trav, who deceased now, he had a bootleg copy of it, and he stuck it all the way at the top, and I remember climbing up there going to go get it, and I bumped it, and I was like, yo, this is probably one of the hardest fucking albums I heard in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Did you throw away your Ja Rule CD? This done.
Yeah, I was over. At the 50, I was over Ja. After that whole beef, I was over Ja, man. I jumped ship fast. I was like, oh, nah, this dude 50 serious. He ill. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the crazy part is? I'm such a I'm a fan of the underdog.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a Ja fan until he became Under Fire from 50.
Yeah.
So then, because I was kind of like, why everybody hating on Ja so much? Let me go back, and that's when I got into, God, what was the next album after that? The 316 was dope, but then the one after that, I was like, wow, this dude really went in. I think it was like his best body of work, but we can get into that another time. So were books and poetry in the house at the time? It was none of that. It was all gangster shit, huh?
The last book that I can remember being in my house was, Dr. Seuss books. When my grandmother used to read them shits to me at nighttime. Like, that's it. Like, books, art, none of that stuff was present in my household ever. It's just work, getting involved, whatever you're getting involved with. Nothing like artsy or, education related. You know what I'm saying? Stuff for like schoolwork. That was it.
TV, movies,
TV, movies, yeah, TV, movies.
What type of movies was in the house? Was it Minister Society, Friday,
Paid in Full?
Paid in Full, State Property.
My father used to watch Godfather like every day. He could watch that joint like every day. You know what I'm saying? Like Godfather.
Shout out to your pops, yo. Yeah. That's real.
Yeah. Blow was one of my favorite movies.
So let me ask you this question. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you good.
Have you seen Godfather from beginning to end with your or at all?
Nah.
I think you at an age now. I feel like you should go back and watch it.
Yeah, I definitely need to.
Not for the gangster stuff.
Yeah.
It's a story about a family.
Yeah, people always like hail it as like one of the greatest movies, and I just need to go back and just watch it. Yeah,
I'm getting goosebumps literally right now, just remembering, because I've got all of them and I've watched them 1,000 times. I probably watch them maybe once a year. Like I can't do it like your pops do it, but it was such a I watched it once when I was maybe 18, and I was enamored by the gangster part of it. You know, the killing and the crazy storyline. Yeah. But then when I watched it years later in my late 20s, I was like really taken aback by the family aspect of it, and how the journey of the growth of three sons. Yeah. And how they all took their different paths, being affected by the father's decisions, and it was a crazy.
I'm gonna definitely watch it. Yeah.
And then whatever. Yeah. So all right, that's cool. Like in that environment, what ended up being how did your environment affect your decision making, like where to go to school, or even to just become the person? Like, how did that environment affect you?
So my grandmother saw, basically, I mean, she never said this, but she peeped how the environment and going to the schools that aren't privileged like the other, like she saw what that can do to young black people, being my mother who dropped out in the 9th grade and my father who dropped out maybe 10th 11th grade or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So I think she tried to start fresh with me with their firstborn, and she put me in private school. But although she put me in private school, I'm still around the same stuff every day. So it's like I'm in private school, and people think that like private school is the cure for everything, right? It's like I'm going here for a couple hours out my day, but then I'm going right back to the shits. You get what I'm saying? So the private school ain't really do shit for me. Now, granted, if I was in a different environment, for them 6 hours, maybe that 6 hours a day being in that environment did help after you add all of those hours up throughout the days and the years that I was in private school, because those hours and days I could have been doing some whole other nut shit. True. You get what I'm saying? So it probably did work in that aspect, but going to school and then coming back home, I didn't really see no difference in my behavior and the behavior of the people that I was hanging around. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
So once you graduate high school, and considering your mother dropped out, your father dropped out, like what was the general feeling in the family of like you getting to that space?
Yeah, it was a euphoric feeling. It's like you don't see it when you younger, because you just like, oh, come on, y'all, it's just high school. You know what I'm saying? Until you look around and see how many of your friends didn't graduate from high school.
Facts.
And even the ones that did go to high school, you get what I'm saying? I mean, that did graduate from high school, how many of them didn't go pursue a higher education, being college? Or how many of them just didn't do anything after they graduated? And not saying that everybody's supposed to go to college, but, it's something special when you the first, male in the family to go to college. You get what I'm saying? And you setting the foundation. Like, we ain't had no heirlooms. We ain't have no legacies. Like, this is the... You get what I'm saying? The anchor to the legacy and the heirlooms is young Connie. Right. You get what I'm saying? So it probably was a euphoric moment for my entire family, even though I couldn't see it,
at the time.
Yeah, in real time.
You was just happy to be done.
I was just happy to be done. I didn't even like school. You get what I'm saying? I just got good grades because the shit was easy, and I just knew how to finesse my teachers, you know what I'm saying, and tell them they was pretty all the time when they was really ugly as shit, or like tell them that they suits was nice when really they was baggy and phony as a bitch, you know what I'm saying, and they like, oh, Kondwani, you so sweet, here go A, you know what I'm saying, like, you can skip class, just come to class whenever you want, or turn your work whenever you want, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, and other people who used to study so hard and used to be in class all day, they used to be hating on a nigga that be like, oh, how can he get an A in that kind of class? I'm like, yo, relax, like, you know what I'm saying, like, chill, relax, man, you know, you blowing the spot up. And that's how I got through. You get what I'm saying? But yeah.
We gotta wrap up. We not wrap up, but we're gonna take another break. We'll be right back. Y'all keep it locked. Aries Lounge Podcast. We back. Aries Lounge Podcast. We in the building. Like I said before, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, Google Play, iTunes. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, VVC Life. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to drop a comment. I know I be DMing a whole lot of people and texting a whole lot of people saying, yo, give me a comment. And it's real because I want comments. Hey, and I want people to be legitimately critical. If you got critiques, don't be scared. Drop the comments in the comment section. I take all criticism, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to make it happen. Today, I got Kondwani Fidel in the building. You know what I'm saying? The writer, thespian, poet. And,
so funny.
You know what I'm saying? Eastside Pimp in the building. So, yeah, we about to turn up, man. Like, you good?
I'm chilling, man.
Yo, this Hennessy got me, I'm in a good place right now.
I'm chilling, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The storyline is definitely gangster. Yeah. Even though I was saying off air, I don't got no place to put these jokes, but we going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. So now that you've given us this critical framework of how you grew up and how it affected your art form, what was the first major piece? And it doesn't have to be a poem. Like, what was the first major piece of art that you created that really, like, took you off? You know what I'm saying? To that space, because like right now, you're in a really interesting space as a black man in the literary world. Right. So like, what was the first thing that you created that kind of started you on this path?
I would say when I performed this poem at Virginia State. It's this fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, that I'm a part of. I wasn't a part of it at the time. And it's sorority, Delta. And they have this pageant every year. So the males are competing to be Mr. Alpha Eta, which is the chapter for the Deltas at Virginia State. So they like competing to be the male figurehead for them. And the females are competing to be the woman figurehead for
the males,
the bros, the Qs. And I was a part of that pageant, and it's 3 different scenes that you have to like get actors to come with you on stage. That you got to record videos. So I had it's a love scene, it's a career scene, and then it's a talent scene. So my career scene was that I was an author, didn't have any books out at the time. So I had this video, we got this video shot, and it was like this news anchor, and my homie Chip played the news anchor, and it was like breaking news, Kondwani Fidel dropping his new book, yada yada yada. Then the video went off, and we was on stage acting out a book signing. So I had like this one guy come up to me like, yo, this book hard as shit, it changed my life. And I had this one like ratchet girl come up to me like, oh my God, man, I'm a girl to be reading your book, we ain't never read, yada yada yada. And then it was this chick that came up who worked for some publishing company, some big publishing company, and she wanted to buy my book, right? And that was like the highlight of my career scene. Then it was a love scene, and we basically like reenacted the Pac and Jada and Poetic Justice.
No, you talking about Pac and Janet Jackson.
Pac and Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice. So it was like this love scene or whatever. I was really in love with this girl, and she went out to go do something miscellaneous or something, man. I was walking with my homeboy Mark, and I seen my girl with one of my other homeboys. So I'm like, yo, what they doing? You get what I'm saying? My homeboy walking with my girl and shit, and they like got their arm around each other. So I'm like, yo, what's up? What's going on? So it made it look like that she was cheating on my friend. So scene go off, we on stage, and I run into her, and I'm like, yo, what you doing? You wild as shit. You fucking with my man, yada, 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 yada. And then my homeboy that she was allegedly messing with come out the back with the lady who from my career scene that like wanted to sign me to this publishing company, and that's what they really was doing, was working me out a deal to perform in Madison Square Garden, because that was like, that's still like one of my biggest dreams, like perform at Madison Square Garden, like as a spoken word poet. And then I was like, oh, that's crazy, I already looked out. And then my talent scene was me performing at Madison Square Garden. So I had like this joint, like me backstage, like with these lights in the video. And then I came out and I performed this poem. And this was over 1,000 people. So this was like my first biggest crowd. And it was like all Virginia State people. My family came down for it. Like everybody was there. And this was my first time performing an autobiographical poem about my little brother passing away, my mother and father drug addiction, and them being in and out of prison, and just how I feel mentally, you know, due to these things. And I cried on stage. Like I didn't cry like boo, but you could, like, if you see the video, it's still on YouTube, like I really was like the little ugly, you know what I'm saying, like really about to cry. And I performed, yo, got standing ovation from all those people. And I went backstage and I probably cried for like 10 minutes, yo, like hysterically, couldn't stop it. And I would say that was my first time. I feel like that's what did it for me. Like niggas saw that shit and they was like, all right, this nigga tight, you know. Crazy. And then aside from the storytelling, it's lyrical too. Right. So they was like, okay, this dude, I. And I feel like that was my first piece of work that really set the world on fire. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that was it.
I can't make any jokes about that. Like I have nothing. Yo, you was God.
I don't know, man.
Damn. You understand how legendary, you lived it, so you don't understand. So that's the problem. You know, you living in your body, so you don't understand from the outside perspective how that's a big, to be able to orchestrate that and then cry at the end.
Yeah. You gotta watch it too, bro. It's on YouTube somewhere, but it's like all the 3 scenes put together, like the on stage, I mean the video joint, and like the on stage joint. You could just see it, just what kind of mind that me and my friends had. And these like people who can really fucking act. Right. You get what I'm saying? And it's like I could just see talent. And I'm like, okay, you gonna do this, you gonna do that. Like we really put together a whole show. Like everybody was like paying $15 for their videos and shit. You get what I'm saying? And I paid $200 for mine from a nigga who really flying out the country to do videos and shit. Like my mom was just on a different level even back then. When I'm a beginner, you get what I'm saying? And like, and that's why I won. Like the other motherfuckers that was in the pageant, they was competing for 2nd and 3rd place, like real shit. Like that's how good my shit was compared to everybody. Like everybody knew I was gonna win. Like it's like no way. Like if I would have lost, niggas knew that they was shaving points. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how just far gone my shit was. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
That's crazy. All right, so from that moment, when do we get to? Now, did the book come first, or did you getting on television come first?
The book came first, because I dropped my book August 2015. Graduated. Excuse me. I graduated from Virginia State in 2015 in May. Came home like a little after graduation, and then I started grinding in Baltimore. And I dropped my book in August of 2015. And right before I dropped my book was when I dropped the Baltimore Bullet Train. And that was like my biggest piece of work. Like that shit went viral. Blogs wrote about it. It was like clips of it and got played on TV. It was getting taught in schools throughout the country. Shit was on the radio. It was just doing like big numbers for real.
So for people at home that may not be as familiar with Kondwani Fidel as us Baltimoreans, what is the Bullet Train?
So the Baltimore Bullet Train was a piece that I wrote, and it was touching on the murder rate in Baltimore City, and it was like June, and I think it was like 120 plus murders or something like that. And I was like, damn, yo, 100 something motherfuckers got whacked, and it's only June. I'm like, yo, that shit is crazy to me. And I wrote a poem about it, and me and the guy Avery and my homeboy Cool Ant, we all came up with the Baltimore Bullet Train. We sat on the eyeball and we talked about how we going, you know, put the video together, and that's what we came up with. And it's on YouTube. It's one of my videos that got like the most views. Like people know me for that. Like, people still love that video to this day. They love the poem, even though, like, I'm off that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just, like, grew, and, like, I just got different ideas about the world, and, you know, it's just, you know, different. But that was probably one of my videos that got, like, the most, you know, coverage, and that people know me for, and, like, where a lot of my fan base, like, came from. Yeah, on, like, a national level. Got
you. So from that came the media coverage. And then people was interested, like, okay, who is this guy?
Right. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck did they shoot this video that's this damn good? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did he get all these people out in the neighborhood? Like, how is, you know, his skill? Like, who is he? You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm new on the Baltimore scene.
Right.
And that's when a lot of artists in Baltimore even found out about me. You get what I'm saying? Because the shit was just like a viral smash. Like, oh, who is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, writers, models, poets, actors, everybody, you know, people that's in politics and shit. Like, who is this little nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Word. So from that point, did that help propel the sales of the book?
So the book came after that. Like I said, because I said the Baltimore Bullet Train was a little before.
Right.
But I would say, of course it did. Because I got fans that, you know, didn't know about me before the video. So now they know about me. They follow me on social media. So now, okay, dropping a book, we gonna buy his book. You know what I'm saying? We gonna support whatever it is that he dropping.
So what ends up being the next step? You know, what was your mind frame at this point? You got a viral video, you've got a book that's doing well. What was the logic? Well, I don't know if it was logical, but what ended up being your next step, and why did you choose that?
Just keep doing what I was doing, just at a faster pace, on a higher level. That's the only. But when people ask me, what you want to do? You know, when you get older, what you want to do with your life? I'm doing everything that I want to do now. I just want to do it at a faster pace and at a higher level. That's it. Like, I want to be an author. I want to keep writing books. I want to keep performing. I want to keep speaking. I want to just keep becoming a better artist. You get what I'm saying? So that was all on my mind. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of me doing, you know, 20-year-old shit, you get what I'm saying? I'm still making way to read. You know, I'm still finding time to read. I'm finding time to write. I'm finding time to learn. I'm going places. I'm traveling. You get what I'm saying? I'm still, like, becoming more cultured. I'm becoming, you know, more wiser. You get what I'm saying? So that was it. It was just like, okay, just become better. Better video. A video with a doper concept. A better this, a better that. Like, just keep leveling up. That was my thing, for real.
Okay. So let's step back. I want to get into what was the inspiration behind doing the first book.
Okay.
And then tell us about, you know, I don't need to get into great detail, but because I want people to buy the book and read it.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get, like, how did you get to that place of putting the framework together?
So in my mind, with the reason I wanted to initially drop a book, because I just always was infatuated with physical things that can stay on earth for hundreds and hundreds of years. So I'm like, long after I'm gone, fuck a video. You know what I'm saying? The whole internet, all this shit could crash one day. People will still have books, and I was just infatuated by dying and, you know, still having something physically here that people can touch and pass down and go through so many hands. So I was like, you're gonna release a book. And I had this collection of poems, and I put them together, and that's what it's called, Asper's artistry. And the word Asper's means, like, rough, and, you know, artistry means it's just, you know, beautiful or what it is. But in the title, I got the ISTRY with a line through it, because at the end of the day, I'm like, who the fuck am I to call my own work beautiful? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like some, you know, like some narcissistic shit.
Right.
You know, some people can take that as, I was like, nah, this is just some rough art. You call it whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? I know that I was a young writer. I edited the book myself. You get what I'm saying? I know it was going to be fucked up. It had flaws, but I'm like, yo, this is me. This is who I am right now. And I put it out. And it's crazy because I don't even, like, people think that Raw Wounds, which is my second book, is my first book, because I never mentioned Asper's artistry, because I'm just like, I just grew from it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not really, like, happy with it, you know. But it's whatever. People love it. Some people love that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
but it's a part of who you are. Like,
yeah. So
that's like that first demo tape you do. You know what I mean?
So it's just a collection of poems, for real. That's it. It's a collection of poems, man, and quotes and shit. And yeah, that was it, bro.
So all right, so we stop, because I want to get on to the second book. But at this point, yo, there's got to be, because I'm just knowing how popularity goes, man.
You ready to say something crazy?
I'm just trying to understand how the attention from guys, less guys, we don't care, the girls, like the ladies, like what space? Because you go from being the quiet, I'm in the cut. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really saying too much, or I might be moving with intention, but not moving, making noise to just, now you are a public figure. You know what I'm saying? Now, come on. Don't even try to play shy, bro. I'm just saying, you get a lot of attention.
The word just public figure, that shit crazy. Like, that shit just weird.
You don't accept it? You don't feel like it's real?
It don't feel real, yo. It don't. I swear it don't, yo. It
why?
Don't feel real.
I gotta ask why.
I don't know, man, because we just hard on ourselves. So it's like when you do one thing, and that's one thing that I need to focus on. I need to really focus on enjoying moments, because I feel like I'm always having like an out-of-body experience, not enjoying a moment because I'm always thinking about the next moment. And I fuck myself up because I'm like, nigga, you supposed to be enjoying this. Nobody do this shit at 23, 24, 25. Enjoy this shit, nigga.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you weren't supposed to make it this far. Enjoy it, but just because I'm just so hard on myself and I'm the most impatient motherfucker that you might ever meet in your life. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's what makes you great, though. That's one of the things, because your impatience pushes you to make the next move bigger and better and more precise. Yeah. So that impatience is what's like, well, we can wait 2 weeks to do the video. Nah, why are we waiting 2 weeks? Let's do it now. Like, or I don't have to write these chapters. I can wait. I got something to do. The impatience is I need to write it now.
Anybody that I work with, they can tell you, like, I probably get on their fucking nerves. Like, cause if I come up with an idea today, I'm trying to execute that shit today. And like my Kia Hughley, she's the one who did my Reed logo. She did my Raw Wounds cover. She did the cover for my new book. She do all my graphic design shit. It's like one of my best friends. And I kind of heard with all kinds of ideas at the crazy times of the night, just whatever. Like, yo, my kid is half of the shit we don't use, some of the shit we do. She probably like, yo, this nigga Connie crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He probably get on my nerve. Like my homegirl Mia that I met at Virginia State, like around the first time that she bought her first camera, and when I first started writing, like we became friends. So she was like, yeah, I'll do some videos for you. You get what I'm saying? I'm knocking at her room door 7 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, what's up? You get what I'm saying? And her friend that she was dating, her girlfriend that she was dating at the time, just swore that like we had a thing for each other. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of my face. I'm trying to work, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better. Like, she got the camera, I got the moves. You get what I'm saying? We ready to make a movie. You get what I'm saying? Right. Like, we ready to create some shit. And I'm just so impatient. Like, I legit can't sleep if I know I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to get something done.
Word.
So, but I really want to work on that. And I feel like, I don't know, I probably need to meditate or some shit. Just to like slow shit down for a moment.
I agree and I disagree. I agree that you need to find the moments to appreciate the moment. Yeah. But there's times when you need to be that aggressive.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's trying to get something accomplished, don't worry about the moment. But once you've created it, that's the time when you step back. Like when you see everybody standing ovation, that's the time to not cringe in yourself and go, they're clapping for me and holy shit. Like, but that's the moment to just be like, I did it.
Yeah, you did it.
I've accomplished it. Okay, they like it. All right. Regardless of how you feel about it emotionally, that's the time when you kind of like, okay, you take it in. You know what I mean? Even in my experiences in the creative process, like sometimes there's just moments, you know, that you just relish in it. You know what I mean? Or I've had many moments of creating something, and I'll be in the process of creating, and it's just so. I'm scared of myself at what the fuck did I just do? Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, you know, I gotta stand there and just let it be. But you know what I mean? But we still got off the original question. We was talking about how these ladies is treating you out here in these streets. So all right, so tell me, like, to go from the you know, you're the public figure now. So what is the attention like, and then how do you deal with that? Like I've seen you out and about, and you have fans of all types, colors, sizes, backgrounds, religious beliefs. So you know what I'm saying? How do you deal with that? You like,
I don't know. I just always, I don't know. I just try to stay true to myself and just don't let it get to my head. Like my mentor D. Watkins he said the biggest threat to future success is current success. So he a person that always keep me grounded. Like, turn up, young nigga, but still You got work to do.
Right.
You feel me? So I feel like I always got to them. I had like, yo, these people enchanted by your work. You get what I'm saying? They love what you do, and that's cool. You get what I'm saying? Be grateful for it, but don't let it get in the way. So that's kind of how I deal with it. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, that's how I do. I just always keep that in my mind. Like, you got more shit to do. You get what I'm saying?
So on a social level,
yeah.
Is Kondwani the antisocial type, not being out in public, or is Con taking somebody home every now and then? Are we going out to the pool party every now and then?
Yeah, of course. You know
I go to. Is the occasional threesome popping off? I mean, what's going on?
I go out. You know what I'm saying? I love being around women. Like, even if I ain't doing nothing with them, like, I just love women. Like, I love women, especially black women. Like, I love black women. Like, I could just be around them, just chilling, just like watching them smile and just having conversation with them. Like, I just love that shit. So I like being around them. So I'll go to a lounge. I might go to the club here or there. You get what I'm saying? I always want to be at events like around women and shit. So yeah, but yeah, I go out. You know what I'm saying? I drink and shit. I chill with my homeboys. I got homegirls. You know, when I travel, you know, I go out and shit. Like, yeah.
And you travel a lot.
Yeah.
You travel a lot. So what? Upon traveling to the other major cities like LA and New York and stuff like that, what do you see are the big cultural differences outside of Baltimore? Being that you are 100% Baltimore dude.
Yeah.
So like, what are the things that surprise you or take you back, or is it how people react to Baltimore people? That was the thing that always drove me nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe like I'm from Baltimore. Oh, The Wire.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like, yo, I was at Virginia State, and my first time realizing how much Baltimore, you know, people from Baltimore are underdogs, and how much like we legit like looked down upon even by like other black people was when I was at Virginia State, and I was talking to this girl mid conversation. She on me. I just knew I had it in the bag, right? I tell her I'm from Baltimore. I swear to God, bro, she got up and walked away. Ain't say nothing, got up and straight walked away. Like, made this face of some nasty shit. Like I called her a bitch or something, and walked straight away. And I was like, word. That's crazy.
Yo.
And then like even when I was at Virginia State, people like, oh, they got a Readers in Baltimore. Oh, y'all got Walmarts. Like, they really think that it's like some third world country type shit. And
some people do think Baltimore is Afghanistan.
And I get that a lot when I go to different places. Like, and you just realize how small. Every time I travel somewhere, I realize how small and how, you know, underprivileged Baltimore is when I go other places. Like, you got even these other cities, they got hoods, but they hoods look like they got mansions and shit in their hoods. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get whacked there too, but in Baltimore, if it look bad, it is bad.
It's bad,
you know what I'm saying? Even the shit that don't look bad might be bad too.
Exactly.
Like, that's what's different about Baltimore and other places. And it might be some other cities, like I heard, I've never been to Detroit, but I heard Detroit, you know, they got some gritty shit there too, like as far as the landscaping and the way that things look. But some places in New York, I'm like, this y'all hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Chicago, I'm like, this the hood. I mean, place like I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Like, nigga, this the hood. The whole time, niggas be getting they shit splashed over there. Like, it's just real. Right. But the difference about Baltimore is that it's bad and it look bad and it's like real small. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like a different. It's like a different level of. It's a different level of rawness and gutter that you gonna get from Baltimore. You get what I'm saying? And
I tell people like this, it's like Baltimore has a tendency in certain hoods to look like a demilitarized zone because you got these big gigantic lights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so at night they flashing the lights, and it's like, yo, you in a neighborhood,
police
bro.
Lights
like,
on
right. You got the little blue lights.
Police riding through every 5 minutes.
Right.
It's like some real shit from, and it's like people don't live like that.
Right.
A lot of people don't live like, you know, being policed like that.
Right.
Like, even when I was in London in March, and I can count how I was there for a week and some change, I think, and I could count how many times I saw the police. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. Yeah, you can't count how many times you hear sirens and hear the police and shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you just realize like how fucked up it is in Baltimore and in America in general. You get what I'm saying?
That's definitely. So how do people treat you out of state? Like when you meet more your fans, you know, or people that respect your work. So what is it different? Is their reaction to you different than a Baltimorean's reaction?
It's not. And the crazy thing is, I thought that it would. Like, so I got invited to speak at the University of East London in March. And the crazy thing about this story is I'm going to tell a story, and I never really believe, you know, people be like, oh, the universe this, the universe that. I never really believed in, like, that idealistic shit. Like, I'm more of a practical dude. I got to see it, touch it, smell it, taste it to believe it.
So the world is flat for you?
No. But.
Make your B.O.B. on the phone. Y'all need to link up.
You get what I'm saying, though? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm at iBar, right, doing some work and shit on a late night. Flip my laptop open. These two ladies came and sat beside me. Like I said, I love women, so we just started naturally talking. And they was asking me what I was eating. I think I was eating like a baked potato with like crab meat or some shit. I just wanted to try some new shit. So I was like, boom, I got that. And we started talking, and the one lady was talking about how much she traveled with her job. And she kept saying, yo, young man, you say you travel, make sure you go to Paris. Make sure you go to London. I go there all the time. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Please go, please. And I was like, yo, I'm going to go one day. Right? And this had to be like, yo, I'm getting chills thinking about this shit, bro. This shit had to be like 10 o'clock at night. Right? Yo, I wake up in the morning. My motherfucking manager texts me and say, guess what? I say, what? She said, you going to London. I say, stop fucking playing with me. A professor from the University of East London saw one of my essays on Twitter. She liked it and put together this whole week program for me to come out there and me to speak, me to do spoken word shit, me to sign books, all that. Not even a whole 24 hours after this lady told me that I need to go to London. Spookiest shit of my life, bro. And the crazy thing is, I was so happy that I got that lady Instagram that night, and I told her, like, yo, you won't believe this shit. This is the email that I got like less than 24 hours later, and I'm going to London in March.
What she said?
Shit was spooky. She was like, yo, that's crazy. Shit is crazy, bro. And right then and there, I was like, yo, I believe in the universe. Like, God put that woman in my life to mentally prepare me for some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was crazy, bro. And I was intimidated, you know, speaking of, you know, how, you know, the different audiences. So I'm like, I'm going to a different country. You get what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that never probably left their country. You get what I'm saying? Like, they know about Baltimore through the media. They know about America through the media. And I was like, yo, I don't really know how they going to perceive my shit, but they perceive my shit just like people would any other place in America, in Baltimore, in New York, in VA, whatever. And it was surprising, you know what I'm saying? They laughed at my jokes. You get what I'm saying? They clap for my, you get what I'm saying? They clap for my shit, you know, right. when they felt as though it was good. And all the same parts people were here. I got the same reactions about how it inspired them. You get what I'm saying? It was inspiring for me. Because I'm like, yo, I really can be in another country telling my story and the stories of other motherfuckers that look just like me and you know, humanizing the people that come from Baltimore that's always getting dehumanized and shunned out of society. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, nigga, we is beautiful. No, we are intelligent. We all the same. You get what I'm saying? And you gonna respect that shit. You get what I'm saying? So when I was there, it was the same reactions, you know, and I feel like when you just be real and vulnerable and honest and just, you know, just be yourself, then you'll always get those reactions. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have some people, like Boosie say, he said, if 1 million people love you, 100,000 going to hate you. But however, just be who you are, be true. And you're going to attract those people who love what it is that you do. And the people who don't like what you do, they going to go somewhere else. Simple as that.
Well, speaking on hate, do you even get... I mean, because you're such a positive person, and you know what I'm saying, bro. you have a I don't even recall it, but your storyline is so genuine and it's so.
Yo, you'll be surprised, bro. I done heard people come back to me telling me shit, and I know that it was true because multiple people would tell me. They'd be like, "Oh, that nigga Connie ain't even nice like that. He just an open mic poet. I don't even know what the fuck that mean. He just an open mic poet. He this." When I won Baltimore Poet of the Year, what was the last year or the year before? I think it was the year before. I won like a Baltimore Poet of the Year joint. Right. And people was like, "Oh, that's crazy. An open mic nigga won. An open mic nigga won." And my homeboy, who's in like the spoken word slam world, like they got like group chats and like it's like a group of motherfuckers, and they was in a group chat together, and you know they his friends, but he's also a friend of mine, just as one dude, and he said that they was talking shit about me in a group chat, and he just asked him the question. So he was like, "Yo, if y'all elite, right? Y'all the Baltimore Slam champions for years and years and years, and y'all really the best in the nation, right? And y'all saying that this nigga won, y'all need to be asking yourself how the fuck he won then." You get what I'm saying? How y'all let this nigga beat y'all? You get what I'm saying? And that's real shit. But yeah, I done got so much shit in this, and that's when I knew the world was fucked up. I'm like, I'm out this bitch trying to get kids to read. I'm telling my story. I'm chilling. Right. You get what I'm saying? I ain't saying no disrespectful shit to nobody. Niggas still get hit. And I'm like, oh, now I see, you get what I'm saying, why motherfuckers hated Jesus. Not comparing myself to him by far. Right. But he can be a benevolent person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And motherfuckers still find a way to hate. And I'm like, yo, I'm if anything, I'm helping y'all. I'm trying to teach y'all kids and y'all brothers and y'all sisters and inspire y'all motherfuckers, and y'all talking shit about me. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't and I still don't understand to this day. But maybe they want to be where I'm at. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe it's older guys like Nas saying one of their songs, he was like, you see your failures in a nigga who realer. So they probably see where they fucked up at in life. You get what I'm saying? And probably see what they could have been if they wasn't bullshit. You get what I'm saying? And it'd be from a lot of older people too. That's the crazy part. I'm like, I'm just a young nigga. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing at the time. I'm just trying to progress and climb the ladder, and y'all just trying, kick me down. You get what I'm saying?
Word. That's deep. Deep. How much time I got, bro? Do I got a little bit of time? Or do I need to go on a break? Okay, shoot. Cool. I'm gonna take this to another level then. Shit, we about to turn up. Since we well, I ain't even talk about it. I feel like you encapsulated the discussion about hate perfectly. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna get into it.
Man, Boosie say that shit, and I quote that shit all the time. 1 million people love you, 100,000 gonna hate you.
Word.
Simple as that. Can't please everybody.
I feel like the other part you said, I felt like is way more, not saying accurate, because what he said is accurate, but I feel like the whole part of, I tell people like this all the time. I tell my nieces and my nephews, like, you are a mirror to other people. Yeah. So like when you are becoming successful, or you are successful, or if you're just living your life and doing you, and you're not concerned about other people, people will see everything you do, and they're either gonna see the greatness in themselves too, and be like, yeah, he fly, I'm fly, we fly. I can do
that too. Or they'll see, okay, he come from where I come from, I can do that too. That's inspiration. But it's something, man, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It's all in how you look in the mirror. Like when you look in the mirror, sometimes people see, I look good today. Yeah, I'm about to get all the chicks. Or you look in the mirror and you be like, damn, I'm an ugly motherfucker. God damn, I need to get it together. The bag's under my eyes, or I got a pimple. Oh my God, the pimple. It's like, it's the same thing. You could meet somebody, and that reflection is going to be there. Either you're going to see that person and you're going to see their greatness, or you're going to see who they are, and you're going to be like, yo, that's a cool person, or that person is successful, and you might be inspired, or you'll be turned off by it and be like, or you might have been having a chill day and you really wasn't feeling like talking to people, so you didn't say nothing, and they like, he just didn't talk to me. He's such a crab. And you be like, oh, he wasn't in the mood that day. He was out of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he didn't notice you. That's the other thing. I've had people come to me and be like, yo, you an asshole. And be like, why you say that? And they be like, you never spoke to me. And I'll be like, when? I never met you before. We was in the same room.
I had a dude that hit me on Instagram 2 days ago. So you know how people doing a little question shits on Instagram? And he was like, yeah, bro, yeah, yo, it's crazy. When we first met, we got off on the wrong foot, but you inspire me. And I'm like, y'all don't even know this nigga. Like, I swear to God, in my mind, like, I'm looking through your pictures. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? Like, what is you talking about, bro? Like,
we got off on the wrong foot.
And no disrespect to homie. You get what I'm saying? Because he seemed like a good dude. You get what I'm saying? But nigga, I don't remember you. Right. I don't remember you. I don't remember nothing about you. I don't remember your name. Right. I can't recall shit with you being in it in my memory bank. Nothing. You couldn't pay me. If a nigga pointed a gun to my head and said, yo, I'm gonna blow your brain unless you remember this nigga and what y'all did on July 3rd, motherfucking 2016, nigga, I'm good as dead. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
yo, I tell people all the time.
We be having out of body experiences as artists. We zone out. We be in different zones. We might be drunk. We might be gone off something. We might just be chilling. Just not, you get what I'm saying? We just don't, you know?
Or the sheer volume of people you meet make it hard for you to remember individuals. Yeah. I meet so many people on a regular basis. And then people will be like, hey, we was in the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we were? Oh, well, all right. And I'll tell people, please don't take this personal. I just don't remember. So much shit goes on. I meet so many people, and once again, it comes down to like, look, I can't change how you feel about me. I can't.
Like the average person doesn't meet as many people as we meet.
Exactly.
They wake up in the morning, they take their kids to school, they go to work, might chill with their homegirls and shit, come home, whatever. They do, but it's not nowhere near close to the volume of motherfuckers that we meeting all day, every day on the internet and real life. So you can't sit there, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you focusing on your own shit. You know what I'm saying? You forget. Like we human, we forget. You know what I'm saying?
People forget that you have a family, that you have a life, that you have, you know what I'm saying?
Other
like
shit that's more important than that fucking 5-second interaction that we had. Real shit.
Right. And even in that 5-second interaction, we could be thinking about or dealing with 3 or 4 or 5 different things all in the same moment. So like, you know, I guess the only thing I can say is to people that meet us, this sounds arrogant, but like, you know, to just, or if you meet somebody that's in the business, just understand that there are tons of people in the business and you just may not be remembered. Like I reintroduce myself to people all the time and they be like, I know who you are. Hey bro, I'm just trying to make sure, you know, I've known certain people for years. I still to this day will text stars, and we've done 10 interviews, dog. And I'll still text, yo, this is Jay from BBC Radio.
And I do the same thing. People be like, I know who you are. But like, I still got it because niggas forget. I forget.
You change
so
phones every other
day. I'll be like, hey, yo, what's up? What you doing? This Kondwani. Just to, you know, throw it out there. Because motherfuckers forget. And I done been on that side too. Like, yo, remember we met someone? And they be like, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? And now I just charged to the camera, not upset. That nigga, like, it's been motherfuckers that I met a couple times. You get what I'm saying? They just don't remember. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Like, it's just life. I never try to I never try to put myself in that space. Yo, you don't know me?
Yeah, like,
how dare you not know me? You know, the only time I might, and I know there's going to be somebody that's going to jump in the comment section. They be like, Jay, but you said. I say that if you're an artist, it's important to know people that are influencers in the game. So yes, I feel like it's your job to get to know me or to know me, because if you want to interact, like if I want to get to a publishing company, shouldn't I know the name of the publishing company?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I possibly know some? Yeah, the people that work there, so that if I by happenstance would have meet them,
not even at work there. If you in a room with them, you should know that that's them.
Exactly.
You should know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like you should definitely know that.
Because you need to know how to finesse and make moves, so you can be a nice guy and get the A.
Yeah. Real shit. Real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people that all the time. Like it's surprising how many times we've done events and there'll be artists. It'll be 30, 40 artists, but there'll be a few important influences in the room. And I'll be like, yo, y'all know who that is?
Right.
No.
Okay.
You don't know who that is? No. You don't know I'm like, how are you trying to make it in the music industry and you don't know these people that could literally take your music and put it in a whole nother space? I'm like, it is that important. So anyway, outside of that was just a little educational moment for the kids. But anyway, we about to go to for the kids, for y'all grown niggas too. I think the grown dudes need it more than the kids. But we gonna go to a little break. We gonna be right back. Y'all keep it locked. It's the Aries Lounge podcast. The Hennessy is in me. Yo, and I got Kondwani Fidel in the building. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, comment. We out. We'll be right back.
Join us Friday, August 3rd, 2018 for the 11th annual Angel Wings Ministries Crab Feast at Tall Cedars, 2501 Putty Hill Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21239. A fundraiser to benefit the School Uniform Project and the Secret Santa Project. Enjoy unlimited crabs, all you can eat, all night long, with a large buffet, also wine, beer, and also other beverages. Tickets start at $60 if you purchase ahead of time, or $65 at the door. We hope to see you there. Baltimore's 11th annual Angel Wings Ministries Crab Feast. See you there.
Aries Lounge podcast. We back. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? VVC Life. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Also, do not forget, check out all of the other joints, man, that we got going on. Follow us on Instagram at JS1 Tha Supplier, at VVC Radio, at King 9 Designs. Also, don't forget to follow my man at Kondwani Fidel. By the way, he is my guest for today. You know what I'm saying? As we say, he is the writer, the thespian. You know what I'm saying? The poet. And the sweet lady killer from the east side of Baltimore. We in the building.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so we ain't got a lot of time left, and we still got a whole lot of the ground to cover. So my first question is, I want to go into Raw Wounds, which was the first book that, you know what I'm saying, I received from you. You know what I'm saying? Which had grammatical errors, but was still a dope ass book. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to get into the new book too, and I want you to plug the release party. So let's get into that. What was the what made you write Raw Wounds? What brought you to the title, and what was it about?
So Raw Wounds is a collection of essays. It got a few poems in the back, but it's the bulk of it is essays. Just being transparent. I was chilling in my crib one morning, and I heard like hella footsteps, like it was like a stampede right downstairs. My room is upstairs. All I heard was boom, and I just heard hella feet. And mine just like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And mind you, I'm just waking up, like just straight out of my sleep, and I'm hearing this, and I'm like, is that my little brothers and his friends like running around the house or something? And I'm thinking like, well, is we getting robbed? And like before my brain could register anything, all I hear is Baltimore City Police. Straight kick my door and boom, throw me on the floor, handcuffs, drag me all on the floor and shit, take me downstairs. They got my little brother in cuffs. I was chilling with this girl at the time who was in my crib, and mine just like we just started talking and shit. So I'm like, yo, she never gonna talk to me again a day in her life. Like first time like we really chilling like in a motherfucking house raid, like in cuffs, like that shit was crazy. And they raided the house for my little brother, something that he got involved in. And they found some drug paraphernalia in there. They found some firearms in there, and and I just had this realization when the police officer was like talking to my little brother, said, your little brother, he got his Omega Psi Phi shit hanging on his wall. He got his college degree and shit on the wall, and like you can see he doing a lot of shit. Like, what the fuck going on in here? And then he say, then he look at me, he say, they dickhead. He say, why the fuck is you still here if this shit going on? And in my mind, I'm just like, yo, it's crazy how no matter how much success or accolades you receive in America, if you black, you can still be at the wrong place at the wrong time. You get what I'm saying? It just fucked me up. And luckily my brother was there to take your charges. You get what I'm saying? And luckily somebody was there to take the charges, because if nobody was there, my grandmother would have got locked up. Right. And it just fucked me up. And I'm just like, yo, it's crazy how in a split second your life can change for the worse. You get what I'm saying? And that was the initial inspiration for Raw Wounds, just to write about that experience, being black in Baltimore, being on TV, doing these things, but you find yourself in handcuffs, you get what I'm saying? And you find yourself, this close to being padlocked to a prison cell. You get what I'm saying? And the book is I call it a song for my little brother. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like a dedication to him and other people like him. You get what I'm saying? So that was the initial reason for that. But then somewhere in it, I started writing about politics and police brutality and mass incarceration and drug addiction and all of these other things that plague the black community. But that was like my initial reason for wanting to put out a new book. I was like, yo, people need to know what the fuck is still going on out here. Right. Even though when it seemed like a motherfucker winning. You get what I'm saying? Even when it seemed like a motherfucker doing, everything that they can do in their power to, put on for their family and inspire their younger siblings and, start a legacy for their peoples, but they still got to deal with shit like this. That's just like the raw reality. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the basis of that. And then it just took its own course. So you released that, critical acclaim, a lot of love, a lot of support. Yeah. Now we into the new book that you were preparing to release. And what was that? What is the name of that book, and what's the mental space for that book? So the name of that book is called Hummingbirds in the Trenches. It's a collection of essays and poems. It's like the equal amount of essays and poems. The initial official release for that is gonna be August 12th at Arena Players. Doors open at 6. Show start at 7:15. I got some amazing artists that's gonna be performing. Eddie Vance, he from Richmond. Akila Devine, she from Baltimore. Black Asset, she from Baltimore. HL7 Kara, he's a rapper from Baltimore, and that's my cousin. And my homegirl, the Cools, she's from New York, and she coming, down to be in a show. And I'm giving artists platform to perform they shit. We gonna have some vendors there, you get what I'm saying? Put some money in their pocket. And that's how we rock it. And I'm gonna also have a set at the end with my friend Alexander Fallu, who's a guitarist, and we just gonna like perform some shit on stage for them. And I might read from the new book, and we gonna have a book signing and all that. And the reason why I wanted to put that out is because you know, first of all, I just felt like it was time for a new project. And I started writing a lot of essays. Like, writing essays was like a new thing for me for like the past 2 years, year and a half. And I started writing all of these essays, and some got published in The Root, some got published in a city paper, some just went viral. And you know, I look back in hindsight and I was like, it was crazy how all of these essays fit a certain theme about death and, you know, these black communities and how it affects people mentally. You know what I'm saying? You know, mental health is something that, you know, that's a whole conversation for another day, but it's something that we don't really talk about in the black community. So I was like, okay, I can come up with, you know, I can make this a collection of essays, you know, and I can put some poems together and write some new stuff and bring some old stuff that relate to this. And I came up with the title. I was reading this book called Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington, and it's about the dark history of experimentations on black people from colonial times to present.
Right.
And you know about you know, everybody in Baltimore know like 1 or 5 niggas that got lead paint poisoning, right? And you just thought that like people was you know, living in abandoned old homes, and they just was in a fucked up spot, like on like some luck shit, right? When I'm reading Medical Apartheid, and it was a lead abatement paint study test, correct, that went on in Baltimore. So you had the Kennedy Krieger Institution, which is an institution affiliated with Johns Hopkins, and they made a deal with these landlords to lure black families into these decrepit homes that they know got lead paint in them, and the window sills and the walls, all this shit. They knew this shit. Wow. And they told the people, these black families, these poor families, that if they agree to be a part of this program, you get what I'm saying, then they can get food stamps, they'll get money, they'll get clothes, they'll get any necessities that a poor family might need to agree to some shit like that. But what they didn't tell them, that their kids was gonna be, you know, it was a likelihood that they will be around high levels of lead paint. They did not tell them that. They left that out of the story. So they lured all of these black families in. So you got kids running around eating the fucking lead paint chips off the wall like chips. You get what I'm saying? Because them bitches sweet and they taste good. You get what I'm saying? And they all crawl in the corners and they playing in the windows and they inhaling all of this fucking lead dust. And that shit is giving them brain damage. It's killing some of them. You get what I'm saying? It's turning some of them blind. It's fucking up thousands of people in this city, right? And this was in the early 90s, and in 2001, I believe, it was a judge, I forgot the name, but it's in my book, and a judge ruled what they did was unconstitutional, and she compared what they did to these kids in Baltimore to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, and she called this experiment in Baltimore, she said it's similar to canaries in the mine. So I say, what is that? Right. So I Google canaries in a mine, right? And like well into the 20th century, right? Miners, you know, they would go into the tunnels and do their shit, right? And when they went down into the tunnels, they would take canaries with them, right? So they would bring these canaries in a mine with them. And if dangerous gases such as carbon monoxide was detected, the canaries would die. So that would give the miners a clear-cut warning to get the fuck out of there, or put on protective respirator gear so they won't die. So they sacrifice these canaries, arguably, to create a better world. Right. And I was like, that's fucked up.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? And some people will be like, oh, that's in God's design. You get what I'm saying? So when she compared canaries in a mine to these children in Baltimore, I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, canaries don't belong in mines. Baltimore kids don't belong in these places where they live. It's inhabitable. They're not supposed to be living there. You get what I'm saying? And then that's what birthed hummingbirds in the trenches. You get what I'm saying? You see hummingbirds, you know, in these like tropical forests and places. But how the fuck would you react if you saw a hummingbird flying out Miami Street? You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would be a little crazy.
You get what I'm saying? But you see people there, and it's okay. But we not even supposed to be there. And that's when I came up with that title, and I was like, hummingbirds in the trenches is the modern day canaries in a mine. So all of the things that we dealing with, if it's murder, if it's violence, if it's, you know, drug addiction, if it's, you know, selling drugs, whatever, all of that is a reflection of America. You get what I'm saying? And it stems from systemic oppression. Like, it's not our fault. And that's why I can say that, you know, I love, and I call all of us hummingbirds in a book. Like, yo, we all hummingbirds. You get what I'm saying? And some sing their songs and some don't, because they get stifled by the systemic oppression. Like, we all born with a genius level talent, but some get to fly away to different dry lands, and that's me going to London, and that's me going to Chicago, me going to these different places, and I get to sing my songs for everybody, and I can inspire the other hummingbirds. You get what I'm saying? But then there's some that don't ever go to that dry land. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever leave their housing projects. They just like in this ocean of smoke for their entire lives. But it's not their fault. I don't care if they the ones in front of the gun, you get what I'm saying, or behind the trigger. You feel what I'm saying? I still got compassion for all of these people, even the murderers. You get what I'm saying? Because I know it's not 100% their fault. You feel me? And that's the base of that title and what that mean, for real.
That's deep as hell. Once again, I have no place to put a joke in. No jokes at all. That was definitely lit. Please make sure. When is the pre-sales available for them to pre?
So they're going to be. So you gotta come to the event if you want the book. August 12th, Arena Players.
Okay. And
then after that, it'll be on sale. But if you want to sign, you know, cause I don't know, I might be here August 12th. Then next thing you know, I might be in fucking Japan somewhere. Who knows where I'm gonna go? So if you want to sign copy and you want to, you know, experience where I'm at right now with my artistry and, you know, what's on my mind, what's on my heart, kind of the show, you want to hear some dope ass performers, you know, that done travel throughout the country just like myself. Come. You want to support some black businesses? Come. You want some good ass food? Come. You want some chill vibes? Come. You want some clothes and shit? Come.
Want me some fly chicks? Come.
Want me some fly chicks? You know, we bring them out. Come. You know, your soulmate might be there. You know what I'm saying? Come through for real. Yeah, it's all love.
So real quick, just real quick, I want Pieces of a G. What is that?
Okay, so.
Or what was it?
Okay, so Pieces of a G was so my first show that I put together was in June of 2016, and at this time I was listening to a lot of Gil Scott-Heron, and he got a tape called Pieces of a Man, and I was inspired by that project, and he got a song called Pieces of a Man. I was listening to it all the time. I listened to the CD like every day, you know. I had that song on repeat a lot, and y'all should listen to that shit, by the way. And I was just inspired by it so much. And he was basically saying, like, I'm giving you pieces of a man. And then he also got a song that's called Piece of a Man, and talk about how his father, you know what I'm saying, was a struggling, you know, person with a job, and how he depicted this picture of the mailman coming and dropping a letter off saying that his father getting fired from his job. And he was basically talking about like how like he broke down and shit. Like, this is Pieces of a Man. And I titled my show Pieces of a G. And G can be gangster, G can stand for God, G can stand for whatever you want it to stand for. And that's where that inspiration came from, and it turned into the title of my show. Then I had some merch, you get what I'm saying, because I believe that we all are, just like how we all are hummingbirds in the trenches, we all are pieces of a G. We all, you know, pieces of, all black people know gangster shit their whole life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And we are reflections of God. So all of us a piece of a G, whether you want to believe it or not. You get what I'm saying? And that's what birthed that. And it was just a one-time thing, for real. I thought in my mind that I was going to do something with it, you know, further down the line, but I felt like it ran its course, you know, and something else. You know, it might come back, you know, but it was just like I didn't want to force it. It didn't come. If it don't come organic, I don't really want it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So and it might come back, you know. But at that moment, that's what it was. And it was a showcase. It was my first time performing alongside a guitar, so anybody with an instrument of that matter. And it was the same type of vibe. I sold books, we sold clothes. I let artists perform. You know, in a community from Baltimore. I performed at the end, had a nice little set, and it was live, man. A lot of people came out. A lot of people showed love, man.
Yeah, I was there. That was a lit night, yo. It was very, very beautiful event. Yeah. And your performance was definitely a defining moment for me to kind of see what type of artist you were and where you were with expressing yourself. So, lastly, you got a documentary.
Yeah.
Tell me real quick, like less than 2 minutes, you know what I mean, about the documentary, so we can wrap up.
Okay. So, it's this organization called Breakout, and in a nutshell, you can hear more about them when you come to the documentary screening tomorrow, because they're going to speak about themselves. So they just basically, in a nutshell, bring innovators together. They have like weekend-long events, and they like bring innovators together and they meet each other. I went to Atlanta last year and I met all of these dope people that's doing stuff across the world, you know, out of the country. And you know, I performed there and you know, they like my work. And they reached out to me and said, yo, we trying to start this thing called Breakout TV, where we highlight different artists or community leaders, and we get a camera crew to follow them around for a couple days, and you know, and we gonna put out the content. So I believe that I'm the first biggest project that they did, because I know they probably did one or two before me, but it wasn't as big as mine. It's this woman named Cricket who lives in Baltimore, and they reached out to her and said, yo, Cricket, we need some money for this video. We try and bring this camera crew down from New York to film Kondwani Fidel. And luckily, Cricket came to a few of my events, her and her husband. And they was already enchanted by my work and me as a person. So she didn't mind just, you know, kicking that money out because she believed in me. And she's also been, you know, a part of my life, you know, recently with like helping me out with so many things that'll take a whole nother podcast to even talk about. And you know, they came out here for a couple days and they you know, followed me around my neighborhood. They followed me at some of my events, you know, and they put together this short documentary film, which is roughly 12 minutes. And we having a screening for it tomorrow at University of Baltimore. And I'm just excited that I can see Baltimore shot this way. You know what I'm saying? From a Baltimore native. You know what I'm saying? And I can, you know, it's just me giving inspiration to people. You get what I'm saying? To other hummingbirds in the trenches, and they can see what I'm doing. They can be like, okay, Connie doing it, I can do it too. It ain't just one way to get out, and it's not just basketball and rap. And I love basketball and I love hip hop. Best genre of music ever, if you ask me. You get what I'm saying? But they can also be like, okay, I can be a writer too. I can be a speaker too. You know what I'm saying? I can be an author. I can be a professor. I can teach. I can do all these different things and still drag my nuts and be a nigga from Baltimore and, you know, stick to your guns, but also be intelligent. Also just do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. And yeah, I'm just excited for that.
Yo, too lit. This dude is too lit. Yeah. All right. Come on, yo. Plug, yo. It's time to sell something, yo. Come on, plug it.
Yo, Hummingbirds in the Trenches is available August 12th. It's going to be on Amazon. It's going to be at some local bookstores in Baltimore. My book, Raw Wounds, is on Amazon right now. Y'all can get that.
Hard copies, my G.
I'm on Instagram at Kondwani Fidel. That's KONDWANI FIDEL. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything you name. I'm very accessible. If you want me to come speak at your school, come hit me up. You want me to perform at an event, hit me up. I'm very accessible. You can Google Kondwani Fidel. All my contact information, emails, social media, everything is all out there. So holler at me.
So if they want to send you some cash, dog.
Send me some cash app, the money sign Kondwani Fidel, everything on PayPal, Kondwani Fidel at Gmail, all that.
Hey, he needs support for all of this great work he doing, because the ignorance I'm doing ain't helping the world, but his is definitely helping the world. Thank you, bro. I so appreciate it,
man.
Definitely, you've got a phenomenal story, bro. Don't even never let yourself tell you that you ain't the shit.
Appreciate it, bro.
No, you the shit, nigga.
Appreciate it.
So,
man.
like, I look forward to you walking on stage with Trevor Noah. You know what I'm saying? I know that's coming. That's coming soon, bro.
And it's the book that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
I feel it, man.
I can't wait for you to be on CNN.
Yeah,
haven't you been on CNN already?
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta get you on it. We gonna end up having to move to New York on the nigga, but it's all good. I'm gonna have to come up there so I can get some food. I want some New York style pizza. So like when you move up, you gotta have a bro up.
Got you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you, man.
Don't forget to support my dog Kondwani Fidel. You know what I'm saying? It's the Aries Lounge podcast. Once again, I can't say it enough. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that way, and don't forget to activate the notifications so that you can be notified everything that pops up. Shout out to my executive producer and my director and the guy that makes all the visuals happen, King 9 Designs. Make sure you follow him. If you would like music videos to be shot, he's got some sales going on right now. So you can check all this stuff out on King 9 Designs on YouTube and Instagram. Don't forget, if you need that poetry in your life, Kondwani Fidel. If you need that interview or that random, well, I'm not as ignorant as I used to be, but yo, if you just need some regular life stuff and you want to hear some good interviews and a history about Baltimore and hip hop, don't forget Aries Lounge each and every week. We release the audio on Mondays and the videos pop off on Tuesdays. We love y'all. We out.
Peace.